Hey there, Mr. Thayer from the Syracuse Academy of Science and Citizenship, Grade 3 Math lesson today. Today we are going to go into Module 2, Lesson 13. This is going to piggyback off of the lesson that we did yesterday in which we rounded. Today we're going to look at rounding 2-digit and 3-digit measurements to the nearest 10 on a vertical line. All right. So yesterday we practiced rounding some numbers on a vertical line. Some two-digit numbers. Today we're going to take a look at it with 3-digit numbers, okay? So this is just a kind of a follow-up, and then we're just going to see what it looks like with the 3-digit numbers. So what I have for us today is I have two examples of yesterday's work just to kind of go over, and then I have two examples of what the 3-digit number looks like and how we're going to apply that rounding to it, okay? So here's our numbers here. Let's tackle these two. These should look familiar. This is from yesterday. We worked on this. So our number is 32. All right. Our question is, do we want to round up to 30? Or excuse me, round down to 30? Or round all the way up to 40? Okay. And we know this midway point is going to be 35. Okay. So all we're going to do right now is kind of figure out where 32 is going to be. So there's 30, so we know that's around 31. That's about 32 right there. Okay? So we kind of plotted that, and that's going to tell us, all right? Remember, if it's below here, if it's below that 35, guess what? We're going to round down to 30. If it's here, we're going to round up to 40. So we can see that that 32 is really low. Got that number 2 at the end. That's going to tell us to round down. We're going to round down to the number 30 here. So if we were rounding that, our answer would be 30, okay? And that's just basically how we use that line. This vertical line helps us to plot the numbers and kind of tells us where we are, what to do, round up or round down, okay? Let's take a look at 36, all right? So 36 is telling us, are we going to round down to 30 or up to 40? All right, we know our halfway point is 35. So all we need to do now is plot that 36. Where's that 36 going to go? Well, here's 35 right here, so it's just going to go a little bit more here. And there's that 36. Okay? So guess what? There's that midpoint. It's above it. We know we're going to round up. Okay? Ended with that 6 there. We know that's going to go up. That's above it. So 36, we're going to round that, is going to become, you guessed it, 40. Okay? There's our rounding using that vertical point. Okay? Now, what we're going to do here is don't freak out. We're going to look at a 3-digit number. Okay? So let's just show what we have here. We're going to use our vertical points again and understand what the rounding up and what the rounding down is going to be, and then we're going to plot it. Okay? So we got 162. Okay? So we're going to look here at that 62, okay? That's going to tell us, are we going to round down to 160, okay? Or are we going to round to 107? Oh, I look like a 6 there. Or are we going to round to 170, okay? So I looked at that 162. I made my plot points. We can either round down to 160 or all the way up to 170, okay? Between 60 and 70. We know our midpoint here is 165, okay? And our number is 162, so let's plot that 162 on here. Well, that's 160, so I'd go up just a little bit higher here. 162, okay? Looking at that plot, all right? Here and up is going to be 170. Obviously, we're way down here. So we know that we're going to round that down, you guessed it, to 160. That's where we're going to round that down. Okay, see how we did that? We took the 162. We told ourselves we're either going to round up to 170 or we're going to round down to 160. Okay, we met in the middle, 165, and then we plotted our 162. We can see that that's a lot closer to 160, so we're going to round down. All right? Just got to take your time. Just got to practice this and understand what's happening. Use the vertical plot. It works wonders for you. It will help you out. All right, 278. Okay. First thing we're going to do, 278. Are we going to round it to 270? Or are we going to round it to 280? Is that number closer to 70 or is that number closer to 80? We're rounding right now. Okay? And we know in the middle here is 275. Okay? And now let's plot our 278. Our 278, there's 275 right there. So I would say our 278 is going to go right up top there. So that's going to tell us what? It's closer here. We're going to round up to 280 or we're going to round down to 270. No, we're way up here. So we're going to round that 278, you guessed it, up to 280. Okay? Round it up to 280. So see how we took that 278 there. All right? We took that 278. We went from 70 to 80, 270 to 280, and then we plotted the 278. Okay? So in your lesson ticket, you're going to see those rounding numbers in there. Got to practice them. Got to understand. Draw those vertical. Get a scrap piece of paper out. Draw those vertical lines and plot them. And that will help you to determine where you need to go, whether you need to round up or round down. All right? And think about that midway point. Doing the work and having scrap paper is huge when it comes to this rounding. Just to give you guys kind of a visual. All right? I will check your feedback, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow and see what adjustments need to be made. But Mr. Thayer is saying, have a good day.